So we got cross member up there and painted, and it's nice. And then yesterday or the day before, I got the converter back. So it took less than a week, and that is 125 wall, so 1/8 inch aluminum right there, and that's the space we needed. So converter's good to go, and we're happy about that. I wasn't sure how long all this was going to take, so I was looking. If you can see the undercarriage of this thing, it's really dirty. It's been leaking tranny fluid and oil all underneath here for years, which is kind of preserved it, but kind of not. But so I went to Eastwood, and I got a thing of cleaner. It's supposed to be paint prep cleaner. That should have came with this, but it didn't for some strange reason. And I got the rubberized rust encapsulator to kind of shoot the undercarriage with. I thought that'd be a good idea, just to do that, and to get it all cleaned up. I got one of these beautiful high-speed Harbor Freight spray paint guns. So hopefully this stuff is thin enough that I can shoot it through there, because that's the idea. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. Is that's why I put the tranny in there, so I needed the tranny jack, because I'm gonna pull this gas tank out. I'm replacing all the lines with the PTFE lines, and yeah, so then we'll pull the tranny once I get the gas tank down, pull the tranny down, and I'm gonna spend some time just kind of being a tweaker and cleaning up the underneath of the car and preserving it for all of eternity with some rust encapsulator, rubberized rust encapsulator from Eastwood, which looks to be pretty good stuff. So that's the plan. That's where we're at, and we're gonna get to it. Update from the last update. I pulled everything out of me, so gas tank, leaf springs, fuel lines, all that's gone, and I started to clean this thing up, and it was bad. It was real bad. It had, like, 40 years of oil spewing all underneath it, mixed with dirt, which turned into some kind of like adobe mud kind of thing. And I think I was a little bit punch drunk from knocking all that stuff out, so I tried to wire wheel it off, but it just wasn't happening. So I broke out the Harbor Freight, where's that, there it is, power washer, and just kind of blasted away in the shop, which I really didn't want to do, but it didn't make that big of a mess. I was kind of surprised. I was a mess, so you probably already saw that, or maybe I'll post it after this, I don't know. But cat light, yeah. So yeah, I'm a complete disaster right now. So we got the all the stuff out, and the cleaner stuff. I think what I'm gonna do now is, if you look underneath here, it's in fabulous shape. I mean, really good shape. So like if I can get it zoomed in, it's kind of dark right here, but like this is like the heaviest rust, right? And it really is just surface rust. There's nothing that's like cancerous gonna rip through the vehicle. I mean, it's just really superficial, and there's like really kind of like, you can see let's see if you zoom out, you can just see like it has like an orange tint to it. And it's just all surface rust. So it's really good for a car that came from Nebraska. Really good. And it just looks like the bottom, they just kind of sprayed this gray like sealer on it, and it's fared pretty well over the years. So what I believe I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break out the old yeah, that's really nice, really nice. So I'm gonna break out the old, this guy seems to be working pretty well. I like this radius on here, this like nice kind of wider radius. I tried to put like a cup on, man, everything is just kind of disaster on this guy, and this just wasn't getting it done. It's just kind of not the right tool for the job. So what I'll probably do is just blast it all the surface rust with this guy as much as I can, and just kind of prep it. So this stuff says on it, says ensure, see the directions, ensure the surface is free of all loose rust, scale, and paint. That's not asking a lot. There's not really a lot of loose rust on the thing to begin with, so I just want to go ahead and kind of get as much as that, you know, light surface rust that I can off of there, and I ordered a prep. I was using the lacquer thinner. I threw it in the spray gun, and that just really wasn't turning out how I'd like. Maybe I'll throw lacquer thinner in a squirt bottle. I'm not sure if it'll eat the plastic or not. Maybe not, because it didn't eat the paint gun, and give that a try, just kind of squirting it up there. But I did order a thing of Pour 15 prep degreaser stuff, and I might wait, since they both ship the same day. I imagine it'll probably show up Monday, so we'll just see. We'll see how long it takes. I'll just kind of hang out here like a meth head tweaker and just try to grind rust for hours off the car, which I won't videotape because you guys won't want to see that. But I'm digging my own hole, so I should just like smash the back end and the transmission and go run and do burnouts. But it's always mission creep. This is why project cars never get done, is because you always go, you know, hey, I should do this, I should do that, and you guilt, like, this is totally just me guilting myself into it. Like, it's lasted 40 years, you don't want to kill it now and have it be your fault. So and then I go, yeah, that's the right thing to do, is to undercoat it. So anyway, maybe I'll sell the car someday, and maybe it'll last another 40 years. But that's where we're at, and I'm about to get filthy again. So that was horrible. So we got all the loose, like dusty, call it dusty rust, because when you hit it with the brush, it just kind of turns into dust and goes into the atmosphere, and then you breathe it in, which probably is not good for you. Give you a better view from here, I think. And yeah, so I got all the grease off of it. I just ended up putting the lacquer thinner, got maybe up most of the grease off it. Just putting the lacquer thinner in a squirt bottle. You can see it right over the mill. Doot. And I just kind of sprayed it on, which wasn't probably good for me to inhale, but whatever. And yeah, we got this guy all cleaned up. I think we are probably good to spray. I think I'm gonna wait until the cleaner, the prep that I ordered, shows up, so I can wipe it down with that. So we are ready to spray the undercoating on it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in the hose. Man, I'm sorry about that zit. What are you gonna do, right? And just hose the floor down a little bit so the overspray doesn't stick to the floor as bad. And it's good and humid. Rained a lot today, which is good. It hadn't rained in like a month. So hopefully the flash will be a little bit slower on the flash time, giving me a little time to get around to everything. And I think I'm just going to start in the front and work my way back. Or maybe I'll start in the back and work the way front, but it doesn't really matter. So this stuff we're using is, I showed you this before, but yeah, it's the rubberized rust encapsulator. I think it said rubberized rust encapsulator undercoating on our website, but I don't see undercoating on there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We don't have any real rust, just a little bit of surface rust, and we'll preserve this car for many years to come. I'm gonna probably just get some tin foil, wrap around little shit that I don't want to paint. That's a quick way to do paint prep if you're going to be doing paint work, is just use tin foil to wrap shit you don't want to spray, because that way it's just quick to get on and off, and it's also really cheap, right? And the other deal was I'll probably use just a big piece of cardboard. I'll probably cut off a piece of cardboard, use as like edge trim, and use it to just kind of block off areas that I don't want to spray on, and that'll be it, and we'll get busy. Get busy. a series of poor decisions was made, mostly due to my own OCD. and I got the back end done, and it looked nice, and the front end just looked all crappy. And I still had some stuff I wanted to address that really could only be accomplished by pulling everything back out. So basically, I never really had a mock-up stage. I just did a full build, and that resulted in some wonkiness. So that helped too. So I was like, there's some stuff I'd like to address, and whilst I'm down there, I can just go ahead and do the undercoating inside and out. So that's kind of where it went to. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit like all the suspension parts, the undercarriage, with the rubberized rust encapsulator, and then the inside of the tubs and the firewall and that kind of stuff I'm just going to hit with flat black spray paint, some good old Krylon rust tough, because this stuff was like $4 a can and that stuff was like $40 a can, so it makes sense not to waste that stuff where we don't need it. And I certainly don't need it on inner fender liners and the bulkheads and stuff like that, because it's in really good shape anyway, and just got to give it some coating. So that's the plan, man. And we used 3 cans of the flat black like Krylon rust stopper or something like that, and we used 2 and probably a quarter can of the rust encapsulator. So I tried to do basically all the inside here of the chassis, the engine bay and the bulkhead, all that with the rust stuff. So we hit all that, and let me get it up in the air nice and high. Here is the under car kind of pan. I feel pretty good. I feel like we got it in all like the cracks and crevices. Got it, all between the frame rail and the pinch welds on the sides. And I kind of looked at it. It was, since it's my second time, I had to wait because I had to order some more paint. I was able to kind of look and see what my problems were the first time around, how to kind of went through one, just kind of looking one way and not going from multiple angles. So kind of went through like, trying to see everything at its angle, various angles, so we can make sure we get like spaces in between here and in between the little pinch weld there and the frame rail and the fender well. So everything turned out really nice. I mean, looking at this guy, that I feel like, the bones of this car are well protected now, and big fan of that stuff that sprays on relatively easy. I use the little Harbor Freight, you can get those on sale sometimes for like $9, I think it is, these guys. But I did some modifications with the siphoning tube. I kind of put a piece of hose in there to go down so I could spray it straight up this time, and I did that, hit all this just like underpan stuff, and then pull that hose out, and then kind of got all the stuff that I had to shoot from the side. And probably should have used, it recommends you use a 2mm tip, I think it is, and this is like a 1.4, and I could definitely tell it probably would have shot a lot better had I used that, a bigger tip. So let me get it down and look at it from the top. It kind of has a nice textured appearance to it. I mean, it kind of went over the old textured appearance. It had some kind of weird coating in there, or maybe it was just years of mud, I don't know. And lastly, we'll go over here. I'm a mess, I know I am. We'll go up here to the engine bay. Dun, dun, dun. And that's kind of a look at the engine bay now, whereas before we were just kind of rusty. Now we're kind of a mix of root beer and flat black. I think I like it. It has a nice appearance to it, and should kind of clean up the look a little bit. So this is all, like I said, this is the rattle can stuff, and yeah, it's not bad. overall, I think pretty good weekend. So we got the all the stuff cleaned up, and all the rust off of it. Spray painted it with the encapsulator, the rust killing stuff, and hopefully this somebody, myself or someone, will have the car for years to enjoy it. And that's kind of the idea of it: make it comfy, leave it looking shitty, and but still have it nice. I like nice. I'm all about nice. It's that sleeper, maybe. So hopefully that'll wrap up this video. I'm pretty tired, so I hope that's enough there to make a video. And if you enjoyed it, please go by my website and check it out. It's monkeyfabgarage.com. And yeah, until next time, this is Mike from Monkeyfab signing out. So hey, I know this was a bit of an eclectic kind of mix. It was actually spanning probably a month period of time, and I'm leaving you here with a few before and after shots, just so you can see kind of direct comparison of what it looked like before and what it looked like after. So anyway, I just wanted to apologize if it seemed kind of oddly strung together. It was actually oddly filmed together as I went through with one idea in mind. Things changed, and I went different directions and ended up where I ended up. So I did my best to kind of make it all inclusive one video instead of a bunch of videos covering little bits that you guys don't care to see. But yeah, really happy with the Eastwood stuff. Takeaways on that is definitely get a big tip if you can get a 2.0, and you're going to figure out, if you're underneath the car like I was, you have to figure out how to shoot straight up. I did it, like I said, with the hose and the gun to use it as a pickup, but sometimes you're just gonna have to figure that out on your own. Overall, really good product, happy with it. And yeah, thanks for dropping by and check out the video.